Okay, to remove the rear bumper of a Audi A6 or Saloon or Avant C6, these are the tools that you're going to need. So we've got here basically 10mm spanner. That's a ratchet spanner, makes life a bit easier. That's a T25 Torx bit with a little quarter drive ratchet, extension bar, two deep sockets, a 10mm and a 13mm. You do need deep sockets, they will help you get it off. For actually the 17mm for the actual bumper bolts, a slightly bigger ratchet and extension for that. There's a 17mm for holding the clamping plates underneath. For the electrics, a little terminal screwdriver and obviously some side cutters. That's just a normal posi drive, just for taking a couple of screws out on the luggage clamps. I just use this as a poker to poke in the clamps, and then obviously torch helps, a couple of torches help. I've got one of these little magnet things in case I drop a bolt as well. And then to cut the bumper, obviously a jigsaw and a drill, and some sandpaper, and I've got a file as well, just to file it smooth as well. That is about it, I think. I think you can do all the job with those. If you have an Avant, you need to do a lot more. In actual fact, within an Avant, you need to take out the back seat entirely, and for that you need a ring 17mm spanner, if I remember rightly, that's offset, which can be difficult. A lot of people might not have that. And also an actual tool for prizing out the side panels of the boot as well. Help. On the Saloon, I'm actually going to try and do it without taking out these side panels, but on the Avant you definitely have to, and because you have to take out the whole foreplate on the Avant, and it is a bit of a longer job. Okay, let's start. Okay, today going to have a look at installing a Westphalia detachable tow bar to an Audi A6 Saloon 2010. So the last C6 model, one of the last ones. This actual model is a 3-litre S-Line Quattro, and I think the S-Line means it's got a deeper bumper and a slightly different tow bar fitment. So far I have just removed the inside of the luggage compartment, ready for extracting some of the screws. Okay, I'm going to start to remove the bumper. So there's 3 Torx bits holding the back end of the cover here, T3s. There's 3 underneath, and obviously 3 in the other wheel arch, and there's also some on the inside, which I think are there, if you can just see, and there, and then on this side we've got to remove the jack cover first with the 2 nuts, and then hopefully we can get to the ones beyond there. So I'm just going to do that now. Okay, I've now done that. There was also a another bolt down here as well that needed taking off. I've just removed the back wheel as well, and because of the cabling I've taken this back trim off, which is you have to undo these 2 and then slide it up, and that comes out. So there's some more nuts to take off, and they're behind these side trim panels. I think you're actually supposed to take these slide trim panels out, but I'm going to try not to do it because they're a bit of a pain to get in and out. But if we can have a look, I don't know if you can see, right behind here, down the back, there's a hole, and there's a nut in there holding the rear bumper on, and the same on the other side. So we've got to get in there. So I'm going to try and do that now and take them off. Okay, now I've undone those 2 bolts, you can start easing the actual bumper trim back. So basically, get hold of it and just push it back slowly, and you can see these 2 come out. And it will come out. But if you've got parking sensors, be careful not to push it back too much. You can see here the cable here for the parking sensors, and this goes in, I don't know if you can see that, and in and up, round, and it's behind this cover where it's plugged in. So I'm actually going to try and pull it through and just get the bumper off without disconnecting it. But if you need to disconnect it, then this side trim will probably have to come off, so you can disconnect it behind here. Okay, I'm going to give that a go. Now I've pulled the bumper off, you can see the actual the bolts where they went through here. They're the ones behind the cover. So we're now going to have to remove this aluminium rear bumper and fit the tow bar. So you can see in here, if I just remove this, this clip here, and if you pull that forward, you can now see the bolts. There's two of them to remove that cross member. And then when you fit the new one, you will notice on the new one that the new one is actually those two bolts, and then it's got a third one because it's a heavier duty one. And that one, when I pull this forward, I don't know if you can see, there's a bit of tape just down here, and you need to take that up, and that's underneath that. And then we need to actually, if I remember rightly, we need to actually drop the exhaust down both sides in order to put the clamping plate on underneath, which hopefully I can show you in a bit. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to remove this bumper and then put the new tow bracket back in the back, and also we're going to probably need to unclip this and cut that with a jigsaw. Now remove the bumper and I'm going to fit the tow bar now bracket. I also did actually take out the parking sensor clip in the end. It's the black one, and what you can do, I realised, is you can actually unclip this module from its bracket and put it down just enough to take the black one out, and then take the grommet out the hole and feed it all through, and that means you can take the whole bumper off and remove it out the way, and then it makes life a bit easier. So I'm now going to put this in, and then I'm going to tighten it up. This is the extra hole that I've taken the stickers off, and that clamping plate goes underneath on top of the exhaust. So I'll put the bumper in, put them in, and then I'll probably show a picture of putting this in underneath, because we'll have to drop both of these down both sides. Obviously we need something to rest it on. We just undo it here, drop them down enough, and I've done this job a couple of years ago on my Avant that I had. Same car, it was a C6 Avant, and I just remembered I just had enough room to get in there and put it in. So this one's a saloon, but pretty much the same. So I'll give that a go now. Okay, what I've done here to fit these brackets is that I've actually loosened the two 13mm nuts off here, and that's actually enabled me then to drop the exhaust down, which I've just propped up both sides. They're connected anyway. Now you need to have this heat shield. You need to actually slide this bracket in above the heat shield, so that needs to come down a bit. And then if you can see right at the very back, I don't know if I can get a good enough picture of it. There you go. You can see the the bolt coming down from the tow bumper bracket, and you need to slide this bracket all the way in, and then there's actually a hole in the heat shield that's already ready for that to align. And then I then held it in place with a 17mm spanner and did the bolt up from inside the boot using a normal socket and wrench. So that's what I've done this side. I'm just about to do the other side now. That's all done now. I've put it all back together again, and that's all encased. In fact, the right hand side was a lot harder to do than the left hand side, probably because I'm right handed, but you have to push it down, and I managed to get the clamp into place. They actually supply the clamps with some some pot rivets to pot rivet it in place, but I haven't worked out how you actually get your pot riveter gun in there without taking the exhaust sort of right out. So it doesn't really need it. If you can hold it in place with a 17mm, the pot rivet side or the clamp go to the front of the car, and that's where it's supposed to be held in place, and that's what I've managed to do just with a 17mm spanner to nip it up. Okay, so that's it. So the next thing to do now is, obviously I need to start cutting out the bottom of the bumper trim to allow for the detachable tow bar to come into place, and obviously the electrics as well. So what I've done is I've put the bumper in my garage, and I don't know if you can see, but there are actually already some lines on the actual bumper that you can gauge it by, although when I've lined it up outside on the car, I'm not actually going to come right across that line. I'm going to come a bit shorter because I don't think it actually needs a hole that big. So I'm going to drill this and then cut this out now with a jigsaw. Okay, so I've cut the hole. I'm not quite sure if it's going to be big enough, so what I'm going to do is I'm just going to put the electrics, connect the electrics up at the back so I can see how much clearance I've got and put the tow hook in. So I've actually got some dedicated Audi electrics here, which I've not used before, but I've just put that together and fed it through, as you can see. So I'm going to put that on, and then I'm going to line the bumper up and see if the hole's big enough, and I might have to open it up slightly. Okay, so I've just slotted the back bumper trim back into place. It's not fixed or anything. I've just slotted it in, and I've put the tow hitch on the back, and you can see here, and then there's drop down electrics. Obviously I've cut that slightly short, but I think I've still got enough room to actually get the plug into it. Also I've got enough room to activate that. So the hole doesn't have to be as big as they actually map out. It's just all on personal preference. Obviously I just wanted to keep it as small as I could, so I think that's about right, that one I've done. So I'm going to take that off now, just neaten it up, and then refit the back trim. This is what it looks like with the bumper removed. Obviously the back electrics just drop down like that when you want them, and then you push back up in so when out of use. Refitting the back bumper, I've put the cable back in for the parking sensors, and then you literally just want to line these up with this hole here. In actual fact, I actually dropped the nuts when I took it off. They're only little, well, they're 10mm nuts, but basically you can replace them, or I managed to get them out. I've actually got one of these magnets, so I managed to get it in the hole and get them out. But just be mindful of that. In actual fact, just talking about the sizes, these ones are all, I think you need a 10mm deep socket to do all these. So I'm just going to line that back up, and then once that's in, what you do, you just literally watch that this bit of the bumper just clips in above these clips here, and you can slide it into place. Okay.